last ship, man. I mean, the end of the world. Why don't you talk a little bit about being in this post-apocalyptic environment? It's a very popular theme right now going around.
Well, this is actually an apocalyptic environment. We get to see it as it's unfolding. It's like apocalypse now. If anybody's used that term before, I'm not
totally unaware.
But this is seeing it as it's unfolding, and it is kind of in the zeitgeist a little bit. The zombies and the apocalypse are pretty popular right now. We don't have any zombies. We have a very deadly virus, and it's a lot of fun. It's an interesting subject matter for me. I think it's rich in storytelling, and the characters are great, and I'm having a blast, man.
Did you know much about the Navy before you took this role? Did you have to sort of learn as you were going?
No, I did. My father was in the Navy. Yeah, he was an ensign. But as far as that, I didn't have any experience like on board a naval destroyer, which was pretty fucking cool. They took us out to sea for 3 days, and that was a pretty interesting experience. And ran some torpedo evasion drills and shot the 5-inch cannon for us. It was pretty awesome.
So were you looking to do something completely different?
Absolutely.
Or from Grey's Anatomy?
Absolutely. And it's funny because this, I wrapped Grey's, and 3 weeks later this presented itself. We shot the pilot right away because we were beholden to the Navy schedule and the ships were available to us. And then we waited about 8-9 months to go into production. We had to build sets, we had to get another ship from the Navy, and there was a government shutdown for a week which set us back a little bit. And it's been a long time in the making. I mean, this project's been, we've been working on it for a couple of years, and it's just now starting to air. But yes, to answer your question, I was absolutely looking to do something. I think actors are always looking to do something different.
How's the relationship with you and the Navy and the sailors and the camaraderie on the ship?
With the cast?
And the crew. The true crew.
Pretty synergetic relationship. We use the actual Navy enlisted and officers for certain roles when we need them, because if we need them to do their job, who better than to have do their job than the guys that do their job? And you'd be surprised how many of these guys are naturally just great at doing their job in front of the camera.
Which is harder than it sounds.
It is. Sometimes, people have a tendency to freeze up when you put the camera on. But some of these guys are naturals, man. It's great to watch.
Did you have a chance to talk with real ship captains to get an idea
All of them.
who Tom Chandler is?
All of them. I didn't ask them who Tom Chandler was, but I did get to experience some of the behaviors of Captain Mike Wheeldryer, who was the CO of the first ship that we went out on, the Halsey. And when we were running the torpedo evasion drills and shooting the 5-inch, I got to see how he behaved when a couple things went wrong, and how everything was a learning experience for him and his crew. And he always asked his crew, what can we take away from this, and how can we do it better next time? And it was just little tiny glimpses into the mind of like a true leader.
What's your favorite moment on the show, either on set or during filming or actually in the scenes?
I think it'd be episode 8. No. I think episode 8 is probably the coolest for me. I liked episode 8. Very cool.
Well, the show's going to keep going. Are you looking forward to, what do you look forward to for the next season?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to the writers yet. I don't know exactly where we're going, but I'm sure it'll be interesting, and I hope you all tune in.
Talking about that with the writers, how much interaction or how much of your ideas about Tom go into Tom? How's that working relationship with the writers?
Well, I figured if I've read this script 10 times and thought about this character 20 times, the writers have read the script 100 times and thought about the character 200 times, so I usually just defer to them.
you read the book? Is anybody?
No.
Is the book a part of?
No, you know, we have two things in common with the book: the name of the ship and the name of the character. Yeah. I guess you could say it's very loosely based.
In the pilot, there was friction between the CO and the XO. Is that going to revisit?
Absolutely. Well, there's always going to be friction between the CO and the XO because the XO is never going to fleet up and become a CO. There's no government left. The only chain of command we have to preserve is the one that's on the ship.
So Travis teased a musical episode when you were saying.
Tease the musical episode? It sounds like something Travis would say. No.
He even mentioned tap.
The Grays musical was actually pretty cool.
So no pulling out the tap shoes.
I can't tap. I'm not good with the soft shoe.
Shame.
What have you found most challenging working on the show? Working on the actual ships?
The geography of the shooting spaces, they're very tight, you know, and you can become a little stilted when shooting in that environment. You gotta learn how to stay loose.
Because it's tight quarters.
Oh yeah, very tight quarters. And when you got a camera crew and a boom operator and everybody else stuffed into one little room, it can become a little bit congested.
Was there anything that took you by surprise in terms of how the Navy worked or how the Navy was working in application of this script that you weren't expecting?
The only thing that took me by surprise is how laid back they were. I mean, they take their jobs very seriously. They don't take themselves too seriously, but they take their jobs very seriously. And when it's time to go to work, they go to work. You know, the Navy sets the conditions for success and then executes with precision and style. And that's what we love about them. And I just found them to be a great group of guys and gals, and we had a good time working with them. Right on. Thanks, guys.